Thank you very much. It's that time of year again. Parents, educators, and students all getting ready for the first day of class. The first group of Orleans Parish School students will return to classrooms exactly a week from today. New Orleans Public Schools Superintendent Dr. Avis Williams is here with us with more on the upcoming school year. And, you know, we always look for the new school year with, you know, hope, and things are changing and changing for the better. What will we see this year different from maybe last year?
Yeah, well, first of all, we're just excited for a new school year, and really looking forward to seeing our scholars back in school. So I'm excited about rolling out NOLA PS Cares, where we're going to focus on literacy, mental health and wellness, as well as workforce development and even social justice.
And how is enrollment this year compared to last? Are we up or down or about the same?
We're looking at coming in around the same as last year. You know, numbers are still moving and enrollment is still open. So we're looking forward to all of our families getting enrolled and seeing our babies back next week.
And schools are on a staggered system. They don't all open at the same time.
Right.
Is there a reason for that, or?
Well, we don't have a common calendar
yet. Well, that's
yet.
true. That is true.
And that's something that, you know, when I talk to stakeholders, a common calendar is definitely something that would interest a lot of families.
And how is the school system doing right now? Because, you know, we had the standardized testing, things like that last year. You did see some improvements.
Yep.
Some schools not so much. What are you looking for to improve this year?
We're definitely looking for improvements, and we do have some preliminary data back, and it'll be a few weeks before the embargo is lifted from the data. So we'll be able to share more with the public, hopefully by the end of August. And
you were doing last school year, when you came here, you were doing some of those meeting with parents again. A lot of parents did like that. You liked it because you got to hear from parents about their concerns.
Yep.
Will you do things like that again?
I will. And this year, instead of it being focused on the ABC tour, where I'm basically introducing myself, this time I'll be sharing our new reimagined strategic plan, and, you know, just showing the priorities and the direction that NOLA Public Schools is going in.
And, you know, across the country we're seeing all kinds of controversies with schools, books, you know, gender identity, things like that. That's something that is very touchy for many parents, and you do want parents' input on that.
Oh, absolutely. We need our families to be engaged and to share what they need, what they see, what they love, and other challenges that they may have. One of the things that I actually have really leaned into is how our scholars get involved. You know, when legislature is doing something that they have issue with, you know, our scholars speak up too. So between our scholars and our families, we want to keep their voices lifted.
And how do you feel about some school systems taking some books out of the classroom and books that are just, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah. As a former English teacher, it really hurts my heart because we've got to make sure that, first of all, we're telling the truth about history, and that we're giving our scholars an opportunity to learn as much as they can about the diverse history of our country and from diverse authors.
And what input do you want from parents when you meet with them?
Yeah, so it depends on where they are in terms of their child's schooling. You know, for the early grades, it might be about early literacy and making sure that their children are reading and that they're able to support that literacy at home. And as their children matriculate through middle and high school, it might be about workforce development and job opportunities and making sure that we are providing them with as many opportunities as possible for success, like through our Portrait of a Graduate, which gives our families an opportunity to look at what does it mean to be successful beyond high school, and we look at it from kindergarten through 12th grade. And
last year you were new at this job, and you know you did take a lot of input from people. What do you think will be, you know, in the years to come, your legacy on the Orleans school system? Yeah,
one thing that I would love to be remembered for is making an impact in terms of mental health and wellness. That's something that has been lifted up with stakeholder groups throughout my tenure, even before I started the job.
We are seeing that coming to schools.
Yeah, absolutely. So super excited about our partnership with Children's Hospital and Thrive Kids, and the $10 million investment that the City of New Orleans has put forth so that we can provide on-site mental health supports for our schools.
And how big of a game changer do you think that'll be in schools?
It's going to be huge, and not just because of what we'll be able to do at the schools, but also the connectedness that it'll provide for families. So, for example, if dad needs to get his blood pressure checked, and sister might need glasses or something of that nature, and transportation might be needed, we'll be able to connect all of those services to support our families.
But for mental health, I mean, this generation is growing up with things that you know, I or you never had to deal with.
Yeah, that's right. And you know, we want to make sure that they have a means of supporting themselves. One thing that I'll be launching in a couple of weeks is called a mental health minute, and it's just going to be about mindfulness and being able to center yourself, being able to look at conflict resolution differently. And one thing that I want to really continue to say is that we've got to make sure that we're providing good examples for our children also. And I say that, I think about the violence within our community, making sure that we're not blaming our kids, because the problems that I see in terms of mental health, in terms of crime and violence, it's not their problem to solve, but our children do need to have a voice at the table as we look at how we make our community better.
However, with kids nowadays, I mean, they do have to go through training on a possible shooter at a school, something that you and I never dealt with.
Yeah, and even that can be stressful. You know, we're very sensitive on how we do drills and train for something unfortunate that could happen at a school, because we don't want to add additional stress to our children.
Yeah, because it is harder for kids nowadays,
Yep.
and I think we all have to admit that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
All right, Dr. Williams, thank you for coming in. We appreciate that. Our website is a one-stop shop for parents who need important information about schools. You can go to our website, wwltv.com, for information about school start dates, changes to certain school guidelines, and other resources. So we've got all that covered for you. Dr. Williams, thank you for coming in.
Awesome. Thank you so much.